Well, it's been phenomenal in the last 5 years. 90% of my prospects are from out of town, moving to the Charlotte Mecklenburg and surrounding area. Everybody wants to be in a good school system.
I've seen huge amounts of growth in the time that I've been here, but in the past several years, in spite of what people might believe, public schools are growing.
CMS has a great national reputation. Our companies in this community recognize that and bring families to this district. In the 90s, we grew about 25,000 students. In the 2000s, we grew nearly 38,000.
That's a lot of extra kids. I think you need to look at the facilities, the space, the resources that teachers need over and above the facilities.
Growth is going to be with us, and it's going to be with us for some time, and we need to be prepared to address that growth.
Over the past 3 years, prior to this budgetary year, we've had to go through several serious cuts. We had to reduce our positions up to just barely under 2,000 positions. All departments. We actually had to go to the schoolhouse as well.
One of the areas that has been hit the hardest is our student support positions, and that would include counselors, psychologists, social workers.
The first year in 09-10, we implemented common stops, created the need for an elementary child to walk maybe up to 2/10 of a mile, and for a secondary child to walk up to 4/10 of a mile. The following year, we implemented shuttle stops. Those were stops that the parents brought their children to those stops. The bus picks them up and takes them to their respective school, and then again in the afternoon, we take them back to that shuttle stop, and the parents are responsible for coming and picking them up. This particular year, another initiative that we've put in place is the adjustment of bell schedules. Over 100 schools had their bell schedules adjusted that allowed us to use less buses serving more schools and more students, therefore less costly. We've been able to save over $13 million in the transportation operating budget.
We staff those learning communities to be able to comprehensively support the needs of the school, both in terms of curriculum and instruction, in terms of discipline, in terms of climate. Over the course of the last 4 years, we've had to make tough choices, certainly around efficiency, but those have included having to eliminate curriculum support positions in our zones that were there.
We had to close schools, consolidate schools, and also shift programs as well across the district, which in the end affected a total of 42 schools. We were able to acquire reoccurring savings of $5.3 million annually, and that's due to decreasing positions, administrative, clerical, custodial, because we decreased the amount of square footage.
One of the cuts the school board decided to make was to eliminate middle school athletics from the budget. Every single middle school sport was cut. Right now, we have a $100 participation fee on the high school level and a $50 participation fee on the middle school level.
Lighting retrofits, T12 to T8 lighting conversions, optimizing our HVAC systems. The systems are only on when the buildings are occupied. Removal of inefficient hot water systems and installation of new tankless hot water systems at about 20 facilities. Through these efficiencies, we've been able to save in excess of $15 million cost avoid to the district over the last 3 years.
Sustaining operations is really an area that we as a district and our Board of Education has very little control over. The reality is we are having to cover those costs in the area of medical and retirement, which is quite substantial. Also utilities, we know those are going to go up next year close to 7%. We've had 6,000 additional students come to us during this time. They require a seat in a classroom, a computer to use, textbooks. So we've seen an increase in class sizes, especially in our 4 through 12 over these past 3 years, and you're going to see another increase as well. I feel that the budget that we're asking, the increase we're asking, is to stabilize the situation. We're nowhere near where we were prior. Resources are limited, and we have had to be very wise in strategically redirecting, and it is going to affect different initiatives that we've had in place over the last 2 to 3 years in many of the cuts and redirects that we'll be doing in this year's budget.
I think these past few years have provided some really important lessons for you get what you pay for. And unfortunately, I think the community appreciates that, and they are willing to pay for what they want, not settle for what they might get. I don't think we're at that point yet, but I don't think we can hang on a whole lot longer before the impact is clear.